Is my screen visible? Yes, we can see your screen. Okay, so the name of the program is called HL7 and as well as Mirth Connect. The program was designed basically for a bit of advanced users and as well as basic users. It is going to cover both the HL7B2 standards and how to utilize this particular HL7B2 standards using the Mirth interface engine. The entire session. The entire program is designed with 10 sessions, each session comprising of 2 hours. This is a weekend batch. The session starts at 7 p.m. India time and is expected to end at 9 p.m. India time. I will try my best to cover within the given 2 hours if there are any doubts or any during hands-on. It may extend for 30 or 40 minutes extra. In session 1, we are going to talk about healthcare integration itself. The detailed session plan is there in the further slides. This actually sets up the context for the remaining 9 sessions. In session 2, we are going to cover HL7B2, architecture and principles. In session 3, we will go into the HL7B2 framework, the why, what and so on and so forth. Session 4, 5 and 6 is all about Mirth integration engine. The various aspects of Mirth integration engine. That what you would want to learn, before and after which you will learn 4 sample use cases in session 7, 8, 9 and 10. If you have to look at this more in detail, session 1 is about healthcare integration. Within healthcare integration, you will learn about the 3 different workflows, why healthcare integration is required. One is hospitals within a hospital, and second is when there are just a couple of external systems. The third one is a complete ecosystem of how there are various applications across multiple organizations that has been used. I will give 2 examples. One is from US and one is within India. In US, we will be talking more about an accountable care organization as to how healthcare integration works today. Within India, the recent development of ABDM, that is, Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission. After which, once we understand about the current integration scenario, I will talk about HL7 as an organization, how it came about, and so on and so forth. HL7 is the name of the organization itself, and the first standard that it developed was V1 and which became V2, which has been there for more than 4 decades now. HL7 V2 is not the only standard. We will discuss a little bit about the other standards, and where does V2 stand within this particular, as opposed to the remaining standards? And why is it really essential that we need to learn about V2? Then the purpose and scope of the V2 standard, how it was identified, why it was identified, so on and so forth. So by then you will understand what is the need and how it is going to be achieved. When we talk about interoperability, there are 2 things that one has to understand. One is systemic and another is semantic. So till now, whatever we would have covered is systemic. When we come about semantic interoperability, we will understand healthcare data and its usage. The various data sets that is used within interoperability, including ICP-10, law codes, NORMAT codes, C.P.T. codes. Why do we need so many codes and how does it gel with the HL7V2 standard? And after which you will download the actual standards document. I will make you to register within HL7.org if you are not. And I will make you to download a slightly older version, that is, version 2.5. And that would end session 1. So when we move to session number 2, session number 2 is where we will start reading the standards document that we would have downloaded in the previous session. And after that we will start understanding the. So why reading the standards document is important? One is it started as 2.1. Today we are in 2.9. Although it is version 2, the version to standard itself is evolving. And many a times it is important for us to know where to search what. It is always essential, as part of a healthcare IT practitioner, and especially within interoperability, to get the skill of reading this particular document. The next set of topics. What you are going to learn is part of the HL7V2 architecture and principle. You will understand what a trigger event is. What is an acknowledgement, the various kinds of acknowledgements that what HL7V2 dictates. And the communication environment. What is the expectation from the communication environment, the message framework and as well as using an online tool? In session 2, we are just going to briefly touch upon what a message framework is. In detail about HL7 message framework, which actually forms the crux of the standard itself. We will understand messages. What is an HL7 message and how an HL7 message is divided into segments? And sometimes how segments are grouped and why do we have segment groups? And a segment is further divided into fields and a field is further divided into components. And these fields and components have something called as data types. And some of these data types have something called as tables. Predefined data values, which is called as tables in V2. The various message delimiters. The concept of repeating segments, repeating fields, while in the previous sessions you would have understood of how to read the specification directly. And that is the absolute source of truth. We do have some online tools, which makes our work slightly easier. I will introduce you to that kind of online tool. And it is by this point in time we will start creating a basic skeleton of a message, which we are going to complete as written. Session number. In session number 2 you are going to start creating a skeleton. And by session 3 you would have created a proper ADT message with quite a number of data elements. So moving on. Session 4 to session 6 talks more about the Mirth Connect itself. So the Mirth integration engine. We have 3 different parts. In the first part 1 I'm going to show you as to how we are going to do an installation of Mirth. And for this I am expecting each one of you to have an account in DigitalOcean. I will teach you. If you don't have an account in DigitalOcean, I will give you. I can share a particular code using which you may